Hi guys, I'm going to go over how we put together the portfolio page for the Take Action portfolio assignment. Here on the screen you can see an example of what this assignment looks like once we are finished with it. So up here we have our title page, which you already know how to put together, and the name and the information for what goes on here is on the rubric. And then we have this down here, which is our portfolio page. So we have our social media item here, 3 facts, and then our title down here at the bottom. And the information for what goes into all these things can be found in the rubric as well. This is just for layout purposes. So for the example, I'm going to go in over here and add in a page. And I'm going to press W so I can see my margins again. And the first thing I'm going to do is add in a frame for my social media item. So I'm going to start here just a little bit below this top pink margin and draw across. So there is my frame for that, just as the frame is right here. And you can adjust the size as needed depending on what your social media item was or your Take Action item was. Now I'm going to add in my 3 frames down here for my facts. So I'm going to right click on the rectangle frame tool and choose ellipse frame tool. I'm going to draw that circle, but before I let go, I'm going to press my right arrow key twice so we get 3, just like we would if we were using the rectangle frame tool. And then kind of drag these out until you get the perfect looking circle. While these are still selected, I'm going to use my selection tool. And I'm going to move these around until I see this pink line that will go up and down the page, so I know that it is vertically centered on the page. So there's that pink line. I'm going to move these maybe right around here. And there are my frames for my facts. So if you notice on this page up here, these have an outline. All of these do. That's called a stroke. So how we add that is you will select your frames. So I'm going to click on one and hold shift, click on another one, click on another one, while I'm still holding shift. Now there's a few different places where you can change the stroke. Over here on the left you see a white square with a gray square inside of it, white square with gray square inside of it up here at the top, and then also over here in the properties menu you'll see a stroke with a white square, gray square inside of it. So in order to change this, I'm just going to use the up arrow right here once. Okay, and you can see immediately that added in my stroke. If I press W to look at the preview format, I can see that all those frames with the stroke are present. So now over here, I'm going to go to my type tool. And what's really cool about this is if I click inside this circle, it turns it into a text box, which is great. However, we need to do some formatting. So just for formatting purposes, I'm going to put in the word fact number 1. And we want to make sure that this is centered, not in the middle of the circle. So I'm going to highlight this, go to my properties menu, and center it in the paragraph. Okay. And then also we want to center it in the middle here, not just from side to side, but also directly in the middle of the circle, like you can see right here. So how we will do that is you can do Control B, and that will open up this menu here. And we want to change the vertical justification to center and say OK. The other way to access this menu besides Control B as in Control B as in boy is if you go up to Object, you have to select the object first. So Selection Tool Select, and I'm going to go to Object and Text Frame Options. And again, I would change my vertical justification to center. So again, object, selected. We're going to do, oh, I didn't change it to a text frame yet, so I got to go to my type tool and click in this. Now I can go to object and text frame options, align to the center. Same thing, click in here, and I'm going to do Control B for my shortcut, Control B as in boy, center, OK. Right? And then I will go through, I would add in all my facts, I would add in my image, and the last thing is creating that text frame down here at the bottom for my title. So once this is completed to look like this, I'm going to do File, Save first to make sure, or throughout the process, you can save so that when I go back to work on this later, it saves all of my information. Now I need to export this as a PDF, so like you guys know how to do, we're going to do File, export, and then make sure that option is PDF interactive, and that is the file type that you will submit to StudentView for grading. You also will submit the rubric for grading, and then once those two documents, both of those PDFs are submitted, then you are good to go and you have completed the assignment. Thank you for listening, and let me know if you have any questions.